sort of an impersonation of Lemon coming from D, because he has pulled this out before back in M1. But of course, different stories as the Myanmar side is looking to set new scores as they face off against the likes of RRQ Hoshi right here.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this one. I'm not so sure about the Burmese Ghouls lineup.
Yeah, I've seen people try Balmond Jungle, and it deals a lot of damage. But yeah, it does. If you see it, it does. But the thing is, you really just have to have a good early game.
This is pro play, and I feel like, yeah, sure, you can have a good early game with the lineup that they have here, but again, overall, I just think that RRQ, their draft right now, it's super solid, it's very understandable, and you're banking on a lot that Burmese Ghouls is going to get this snowball running, and I hope they do to make this work out.
But you have your casters right now, Gideon, Leo, and Contra. Take it away.
Well, of course, back towards the topic of the Balmond, right? It's something that many new players are introduced to when they get in towards the Land of Dawn. And back in the days where people say, hey, Tigreal is nowhere near viable, and yeah, he's just way too simple for a competitive play, but look where we are. And I believe that Balmond can actually fit in towards a very certain win condition that the Burmese Ghouls is looking for.
I can see it, but also I understand why people are speculating and why it's very, very shifty, very sus, if you will. That's what the kids say these days. But right now, looking at the way lanings go, it's going to be a side lane Balmond. Again, looking to go toe-to-toe against a Lapu-Lapu. And yeah, even with all the shields and lifesteal that Lapu-Lapu may have, the stacks that R7 can build up here. Yeah, I think a lethal counter on Balmond would be great, especially if it's stacked up with all of the damage that can come from Kid, damage from Ruby DD even. Yeah, by the way, that is not a tank Jawhead.
Oh boy, great that you actually pointed it out. And I believe that they'll be playing with a whole lot of aggression coming in towards these lanes. And with that, oh boy, Vin taking a little bit too much.
Yeah, again, this is one of those side lane mid lane matchups where it's just like, okay, we're just looking to poke and harass and just clear out the waves before making that rotation. Burmese Ghouls are gonna get the first. Ooh, Albert, he's getting real close to those abyssal arrows.
Oh boy, he just dodged it by a couple of inches there, and he's dealing with R7 right here. I don't think R7 is gonna be taken down just about yet. These gotta respect the territory as much as they want to proxy the wave over the mid side. It's Kid versus Psycho as well as Albert. Psycho is going to be backing away. A little bit of reset. Turtle is already up while the Diggy tries to plant as much bombs all over these bushes.
I want to be wrong about this Balmond. I want to be wrong. But the more I look at it and the more I think about it, I'm really hoping Burmese Ghouls get ahead here because D, he's going to need a lot of babysitting for a good majority of the game, for at least 4 minutes until he can kind of sustain on his own. But until then, he basically can't win any trades against a Lapu-Lapu. If he gets rotated on, he's just hoping he doesn't get dove. And most of the time, RRQ is just going to either dive in pre-4 or look to play on the opposite side of the map.
To be fair, if RRQ Hoshi bites on that, that's actually on them. They're wasting quite a bit of effort. And again, to think that this is just a Balmond. He has a dash. He has a flicker. That might be what Burmese Ghouls going for anyways.
Oh, well, I hope so. And I really, really do. I want to see this work out and be proven wrong here. But Burmese Ghouls, again, unless this is a meta that utilizes Uranus, I don't see this working out. But let's go.
Oh, R7 moving straight in for the kill as it will be first blood for RRQ Hoshi, cracking Diggy and towards Nay.
And now they're going to be rotating towards top sides here. Hello, hello. R7 is going to be under his turret here. D could be going, but a great flicker from R7. And now the pick onto D.
And with D already running right back, they're going to be focusing on their attention on towards Kit instead. It's going to be called off as RRQ Hoshi respects their ground, but Psycho might just be the next one to fall right here with the Blazing Duet coming out from the side of Ace. Oh, way too close.
Short seems to be the story here for Burmese Ghouls. They put out so much damage, and I saw that D was literally going to go for the lethal counter, but with the flicker out by R7. I see now. We all see now. We understand what the intent was. But I think with that failed engagement, at least they opened up top lane to get the turtle.
Yeah, and definitely you can see Vin tries to go in for first, but instead gets returned a favor from Ruby DD. He just went in with the unstoppable force, and now It's a 1-1 trade right in, and that jaw hit, like you said, playing very offensively.
Yeah, a mistake onto Vin's side personally, because again, Belleric on bottom side is probably saying, hey, I pushed the wave, I don't see Jawhead here. There probably should have been that communication much earlier on.
Pressure on towards R7 while Psycho's going to be cunning in towards the corner just to negate a little bit of a pressure. Vin will be able to clear some of these camps pretty much safely, but I don't think that it's really much necessary for D to be there at this very moment, but definitely RRQ Hoshi can take it slow, and eventually they have to ramp up, and here goes Albert driving straight in towards 3 members, and, well, they will be able to catch out Ruby DD.
Yep, really well played coming in from RRQ Hoshi. They cleared up that top side. They realized, you know, they're putting a lot of pressure on our top side. Let's just run down bot side and make a play.
Here we go in mid. That's going to be one caught in the middle. Vin. D from the back spinning around. Time's journey by maybe.
Oh.
In comes the other. R7 gets one. Psycho finished the job. Kid is going to bite it as well as D. It's a 2-for-1 here. RQ Hoshi win that one against Burmese Ghouls.
Is it really worth it to actually risk everything over mid-side just for this, as RQ manages to punish Burmese Ghouls, and unstoppable force, and the ejector straight towards Psycho, and he will fall. Overstepping in towards that zone definitely is very punishing.
Great punish. I mean, honestly, great punish coming in for Ruby DD. He even gets the Blade of Despair. We haven't seen this in a while, but at least he's going toe-to-toe, and he's doing a great job, an excellent job, in fact, doing so. But let's look at the builds and kind of have a bit of a deliberation over it, because, again, you can see Lemon, he's building defensively once more.
Well, there's looking towards those builds. You've already seen some Hep Disease out there for R7 as well. So I believe that he'll be doing just about fine. A lot of attention on towards that turtle coming up, and Burmese Ghouls already got one in the back, and just looking at the goal differentials, RRQ Hoshi still having it in the back. They do not want to lose this though. Psycho approaching really close, but Albert, he tries to go in with the Retribution to steal it away and end towards the Tempest. The time journey is being popped, and they're chasing right in, looking for Kid. Flicker has been popped up as well. Maybe with Slither Health will be taken down by the Ling as they go in for more, but see, they are in their face, and Albert is the only few that's left alive alongside with R7.
Oh boy, oh boy. I mean, Albert could have gone for one more, but I think he didn't want to risk it, considering that Ace did have the orange buff on him, and he didn't. So it's like, I want to go in, but he's got a lot of damage, and Marksman's with orange buff slow me down with true damage. It's definitely not the best decision, so he pulls back out. It's going to be a 2-for-3 trade.
I think the Burmese Ghouls here, they're trading good for numbers, right? They're catching up. RRQ Hoshi still keeping up the pressure, and that one turret lead, if they continue trading this way, it might take a while for Ace to actually be unleashed. And so far, so good. 7 minutes, 30 seconds in. About D is holding his own here.
Yeah, I definitely like what I'm seeing right now. As much as they did actually give the turtle away accidentally with Ling just flying through with the Retribution. Not that they can stop it anyways, right? So with that, we're going to be seeing a little bit more skirmishes over on towards Smith, trying to catch over on towards Smith, but Psycho jumps right in. Time Journey being popped up as well. Ruby DD sets up for a dive with the Unstoppable Force, and there we go. A catch on towards Ruby DD. This is Albert punishing them all the way through. What a huge one coming from RRQ Hoshi.
Kid for Albert, and in goes D. This is not a good look for RRQ Hoshi. They lost their core for a mid. This is the jungler. Albert should never be caught out like that.
Wow.
There's very little catch on the side of Burmese Ghouls. What do you want from there? You're looking for that reverse time. You're looking for that knock-up or that throw away the ejector. You're looking for that arrow. And for that split second underneath that turret, they were able to still take out Albert every time. Oh, if they keep doing that, hold up. D's getting bursted.
Oh boy. That's going to be a turret being lost up, and great that you mentioned it, as of course that's her 1-for-1 trade in that role exchange. Not entirely the best of scenarios in the long run, but look at what we have. Another turtle here. Ace could easily take this one for Burmese Ghouls, as goal disparity obviously is not really too much for the moment, but big items have been purchased by Ace as well as D.
Golden Staff and as well as Brute Force Breastplate onto D here. And going back to that fight, honestly, it literally was just maybe who saved the entire fight. That Aegis, on top of the smart missiles, the shields wasn't enough for Albert to actually win that fight. And then once they walked away far enough, the high and dry came into play. But it looks like they want to go for more here.
Oh, they caught out Psycho. This is going to be an opening for the side of Burmese Ghouls. They're trying to find a way to just get some picks, but Lemon has already popped his ult, and there's nothing much that the Valorant could have got out of that anyways. Now Albert tries to move across the map, trying to make a little bit of a split push coming in towards the top side. And, well, members of Burmese Ghouls, they're definitely nowhere near towards where the lane is.
I mean, Rubididi is on his way up to kind of match the push, but I think it's going to be a little too late. And you don't forget that Vin, he's going to say hello, hello, get a good stun here, but hopefully he doesn't get one shot.
Definitely a good trade in towards mid, but Rubididi, speaking of one shot, yeah, there we go. Albert just gets one for free.
Great bait coming in from Vin overall. Leo, I mean, the way that this fight is going... Wait, hold on. Hold on. This fight is
going to be the spin and the Dryad. Wrath of the Dryad in by Lemon, turning it into a false engage. Oh, but they were baiting D. Lethal counter, not taking anyone down. Blazing the wet by Ace. Oh, I think they're just going to say, we'll take this purple and get out of here.
Yeah, I guess perhaps it was worth it at the end, although they did expend a lot of all these elements like the Blazing Duet, and this is where Albert wants to find that sort of takeoff with all these members coming rushing through the Little Wanderer side. They're going to be looking for Ace, and maybe gets popped out instantaneously. Whoa, that was a little bit too much for the Diggy.
Okay, say what you will, but I think the fact that Vin has to expend an ult to take down Maybe, that's fine, because I think that was Maybe's job anyway.
Yeah,
to some extent,
what they
if you keep doing that, especially in big team fights like this, especially when Maybe's time's journey is off cooldown, he wouldn't mind. But right now, I guess, since it is kind of a standstill, watch out. This might be conditioning. I don't know.
I personally think that no matter what, it's always going to be a win for Vin here, especially since maybe if he dies cooldown or without, it means that he's going to get gold. He's getting that free pick. And if this continues on, this could be one of those, it could occur where a situation says, hey, we're going to have exactly what we see here, Psycho catching somebody off with the Imperial Justice. So if maybe he gets caught out way too early through Vin, might be some problems later down the line.
You know, this is a flicker burned for Psycho. So that's one less bit of range, one less escape. But I'm not counting out the fact that he might get away with 1 HP. It seems to happen all throughout the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm being purchased by Maybe.
And time to time again, we're going to be seeing a little bit of the choke point being set up coming in from the side of Burmese Ghouls, but nothing that they could possibly get out of, perhaps just trying to contest for this buff at the moment. But Lemon is already moving right in. Baby is going to do exactly the same, just to soak in whatever is being thrown at from the side of RRQ Hoshi. Goes in for a reset, but honestly, they are setting their eyes on the prize here with a big win on a team fight. They could obviously look for the First Lord, but Blade Despair has already purchased from R7.
But also notice how this is working out. Lord is not really being contested here, and I think, you know, RRQ understand that he can't do much about it because look on top side, Balmon actually getting a preemptive push to set this up for the rest of the Burmese Ghouls. And RRQ Hoshi saying, if we fight now, looking a little bit into the future, D is going to get that first rotation and catch off that back line, and R7 is going to be a little too late to the fight.
Yep, and that's what the Balmond is looking to bring to the table, is this whole mobility and this fact that you have to notice him. He's a little bit like a Yu Zhong, but a little more lethal, and I guess now with the flicker, he has a little bit more range.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be having that sort of reach just to go ahead and catch either, you know, on a good day you get Albert, or perhaps Finn that's pretty close by. Now, that turret's going to be going down eventually, but the Lord is over on to the opposite side, and RRQ Hoshi forcing the flight right here. This is going to be Psycho getting a catch, and the Lapu Lapu will be able to take down Maybe, and once again, it's a lot being used up just to get that Ziggy out there, so Burmese Ghouls can still plot out another engagement right there. They still got those flickers up online, and this is Lord really taking down a turret.
But also notice this. I mean, the fight's having oh wait, it's a full engagement.
Oh no, D got caught out there, and this is going to continue on. Lemon already used the Wrath of the Dryad, and it's going to be a false engage. Purple still kept here by Albert. They need to go ahead and clear this Lord. I think they're fine. Hold up. It continues. Kids get taken down here, and Psycho able to Mamba out. That's going to be a lot of damage taken in by Lemon. That's a trade so far. A tank for the mid laner, and the Blazing Duet has been used up. 8 for 2 so far. That's going to be Tempest the Blades taken 3 for 3. 3, very messy for both teams, but Albert is running for his life. Flicker in by Ruby DD, and they disengage. Still no turrets taken down on the bottom lane, but they actually push top.
Yeah, I think it's good enough for the side of Burmese Ghouls after that sort of fight that they have called on for, and almost actually getting everybody in the back except for Albert, of course, having so much mobility to move in and out. But hey, eventually this is definitely going to pay a whole lot of dividend. Let's look at the instant replay to break this one down further, Gideon.
I mean, check this out. The way that they're taking these fights here, Rubididi actually getting the ejector on that stun, into the stun, really great play. They trade evenly so far, but now they want to actually catch Albert here. I don't think they have the tools to do so. But coming back into this, now, it really comes to how strong maybe is going to be. The more survivable he is, his ultimate is going to be very relevant in these full 5v5 team fights. If RRQ Hoshi wants to really punish them, they hit maybe first. And one more thing to know, Burmese Ghouls not getting as much as a snowball, but they are getting those objectives. So get ready, because RRQ is going to start fighting it out and really starting to play more flexibly in the late game.
Yeah, the only goal difference is only 1,000, and here comes maybe once again coming in from the side. It's going to be D as well, and Psycho's getting caught out. He needs to run for his life, and he will eventually fall to the hands of Maybe. And with that, Maybe, as much as he gets popped up, D is all the way towards the backline looking for Albert, and R7 already dropping out. But Kid is giving his life up eventually as Albert pops in the Tempest. The damage is good, as you can see. Ace and the rest of the members of Burmese Ghoul, they're looking to end game 1 right here, right now. And Burmese Ghouls, they take first blood.
Woo! What a way to drop the game. One mistake coming out from the side of RRQ, and Burmese Ghouls take a game off of RRQ. This is a big statement. Myanmar will rejoice.
I love the body block that was put in place to save Kid. That was close, but I think that was exactly the moment wherein, all right, if you're able to bait Albert, he won't be able to clear the waves, and we're able to finish. And that was just, chef's kiss. The 1, 2, 3 alley-oop slam dunk. Balmond just won a game in M2.
Yeah.
Not to mention that Rubididi was able to actually use the ejector to flick Lemon out of there, so he couldn't affect the wave as well.
It was all about just going straight for the core anyways.
Yeah.
The base!
Right now, I was just seeing you cast. That is a high level mechanics in just one game. They were just, using a lot of these small things to their advantage. It's just that RRQ was the first one who made the mistake, and Burmese Ghouls took advantage of that.
To move right in. Now, final pick, and it's going to be that Roger. I'm pretty sure you guys have an opinion about this.
It's great against the Diggy, the Grok. It can dive as much as possible.
And go forever.
And one of the things that RRQ Hoshi is thinking about right now is to just stop the game by the time we hit the 12-minute, 14-minute mark, because it's not going to look good for their way if it is a Hayabusa and a Claude at the late game.
Yeah, I mean, their scaling looks so much better in a lot of these situations here, but I mean, RRQ, with the composition that they're bringing out, it's got a lot of ups. It's got a lot of plus points, especially when it comes to the early to mid game phases. Like around level 2 and 3, that's when you're going to see RRQ get a little bit more lane dominance and priority.
Yeah, and speaking of which, like we talk about that early game, a late game for the side of RRQ Hoshi. This is literally a ticking time bomb for Burmese Ghouls to just close things out.
And looking at it, we have your 5 players on the screen, and right now we will head on to the Celestial Palace, and I am gonna throw you to our casters, Gideon, Contra, and Leo. Take it away.
And away we shall. Here we go. Game number 2, Burmese Ghouls versus RRQ Hoshi. Looking at lanes, it looks like this is indeed going to be a tank Khalid on Psycho, and he played that Benedetta yesterday, and it looks like this is a little more sane, a little bit more of a throwback, and they are heavily invading in the purple of BG.
Yeah, I mean, they want to abuse Khalid's level 1 here. He goes all the way around. He's got the Concussive Blast as well, so keep note of that. But Ace, he already predicts something that is going to be happening around here, which means that Psycho needs some help. No, unfortunately, no Matilda on his side, but no, now Vin, he goes in, takes a little bit of damage, but he can only target one person at a time. Vin getting the stun onto D, but it's not going to be enough. R7 as well, trying to pick him up, and D on the run. Battle Mirror Image over the wall.
They almost caught Psycho out there, but of course, they tried to invest in that Ruby attempt as well, but he's being caught in between. Now having to force a couple of flickers in the early phase itself. They're going to be pulling right back, but still nothing has happened all too much as of yet. Great response though coming from Burmese Ghouls with the defense.
Yep, they saved themselves from the first blood. Could have been close. Literally one more hit from Vin here could have been just the down onto D, but let's do note, D is playing from the side lane. It's actually Ace who is the jungler for the Burmese Ghouls, and as similar as it looks from game number 1, especially after they lock in the first phase Diggy, it's actually a very different draft now.
Oh,
Ace gets checked in on by Lemon. Oh no, there's the pullback.
Oh boy, a 4-man investment just to take down Lemon. And he still managed to walk away alive. So members inside of RRQ are going to be happy that, okay, we know that all the other members of Burmese Ghouls are already down here. They could definitely start the turtle, but Ruby DD is trying to find a way to pull it away, force the flicker, and here comes the rest of the members of BG. They're already taking a chunk of health away from Psycho.
It's tough. I mean, he does have the quick sand guard to regenerate his health back up to full, but again, it's all about those level 4s, and right now, more level 4s on the side of Burmese Ghouls in comparison to RRQ Hoshi, and I mean, at least R7 for one does have the Zaman Force ready to go off, but Rubini just making sure he's being relevant in this game. R7 now going to be dropping the Zaman Force to try to go for the solo kill. Does he get it?
Oh!
Close, good use of the gift. Oh, just the tip. He's scared of just the tip. Oh, nice swing.
Wow.
And there's going to be the first blood. Outplayed by R7. That's going to be Psycho checking in. You good? You good? Aight.
Not good anymore. Like, that sidestep just on time before he gets rammed to the wall. So, well, RQ, Hoshi drawing first blood, but maybe here's the next one here that won't fall as the big bad wolves arrive.
They're going to be continue pushing on this with this lead here, and RQ Hoshi, they got a 2K gold lead for now, and I mean, let's see how far this is going to get them, because the Burmese Ghouls, they can easily turn this around, and this is the first time we're seeing, actually, on the first turtle fight, that a team was able to start a snowball on their side, or at least get a lead against the Burmese Ghouls.
And we talked about how important the early game is for the side of BG, and they're already dropping the ball right now. And, of course, a couple of boots have already been purchased out. R7 going back at it, but Ruby DD already spinning his ult. Zaman forced to chase right in, and Psycho tries to pin him down, but he knows, okay, he's expecting a lot of attention, and he'll draw a little bit more from RRQ.
Yep. Kill me once, shame on me. Kill me twice, shame on me. Wait, is that how that goes? Anyway, here we go. The Yogi Shadow kill helps out, maybe knocks out Vin, maybe gonna be revenge kill here by Albert, so it's a 1-for-1, but I think that's something that BG can afford anyways, but the push continues. Here comes Kid with the dash in for free by Ace.
Right now, Matilda's been, I mean, Kid has been doing a really good job, especially towards the mid lane of, you know, getting that information and zoning up and allowing maybe to get really aggressive here, because again, this harassment is really abusive. Like, they're just gonna keep on smacking him, circling Eagle as well onto Psycho.
How many things do they want to throw at the Khalid, and he still walks away unscathed? Now, of course, going to be having Albert to be able to cover grounds over on towards the mid lane. Demon Hunter sword for D, and the dive sets up. He walks away with so little left.
Oh, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Lemon even bothering to flicker to try and close the distance against D, who did use his Purifier. So regardless, if D gets caught out in the next upcoming fight, he's not going to be able to get out that hard CC that RRQ have dedicated themselves. I mean, they've got the Raging Sandstorm, they've got the Abyssal arrows as well. There's just so many things to worry for.
Oh no, Vin gets smashed here by the Guardians. Barrier 1 for Ruby DD here, which by the way is not your traditional Grok. Look, he is on high and dry.
High and dry. Well, it's a little bit of throwback because back then aggressive Groks is definitely a thing, but well, I don't know at this point facing against R7.
Is this the Burmese meta invading him too right now? This is amazing.
I suppose, but let's see if it works out. It needs to garner some results. If not, it's just going to be standing there in the water. And RRQ, they want to contest this next. They want to contest this turtle, but can they even get it here? Especially with Burmese Ghouls, they're trenched in hard. But yes, they do. They managed to get a steal.
1-for-1 turtles now.
Yeah, and not only that, they managed to exchange it with the turret being taken by the side of RRQ. So a little bit of different sort of objective are on their their eyes right at the moment. But OD blazing to wet on towards Lemon. But how long can he last? He will be able to survive, but the rest of RRQ nowhere to be found to be providing assistance, knowing that he does not need any of that. But having more members being sent right through, they are trying to stop the push. Whoa, Sandstorm right and towards that corner, and Time Journey has already been popped. Here comes Kid, though, knowing that, okay, we've already called off many of these big-ticket elements.
That was ridiculous regeneration. I counted, what, 2 or 3 ults dropped by the Burmese Ghouls, and RRQ Hoshi was like, okay, let's go. Let's do it again. Quick Sand Guard and the lifesteal on Lemon, but we almost missed it. Maybe he goes down. What a quick blast by RRQ just to take down the Diggy. I mean, yeah, they can afford it, but it's never good to just lose a hero like that. Circling Eagle right now. Psycho is the target. A few slashes laid down onto Albert, and Psycho, in comes Lemon from behind, but that's gonna be a double for free. Ace gets one. The trade onto Kid, and that's gonna be Lemon. Reverse time, even in this small pit. That's going to be the flicker out by Lemon. They survive 1 for 2 so far.
They go way too deep, and, well, I guess that answers your question with the high and dry, right? Like, wow, that Grok is definitely being placed in that perfect scenario, and they will be able to just reap the rewards by just taking down all these members of RRQ who was hoping to get more catches after Maybe goes down. But speaking of Maybe, right here, he's popping the Time Journey already, so free pick coming from R7, popping out that Zaman Force, and now looking for Ruby DD as well. But, you know, Grok can last for quite a while as he is buying a little bit more time. Top side, though, 1v1.
No, they managed just to pull away, and you know the power of nature, especially with the nature shield, it's great ability. He walks away.
It was a 2v1.
A 2v1, and unfortunately, that's going to be Albert paying the price, maybe taking a lot of damage here on towards that mid side. But even Vin, he doesn't want to play a part of it. Raging Sandstorm coming in from Psycho, but he has no way to get out. Pistol Arrow doesn't land, and that should be it for him. Quick Sand Guard.
Just look at the Sand Guard, and it tags the entirety of the OG Shadow kill, but he will still go down nonetheless. 6-7. Burmese Ghouls looking to secure the mid side of the tower, but Vin has just arrived, and Shadow stepping away, and oh my goodness, Pistol Arrow goes all the way through, but not hitting anyone in as of yet.
Oh, this is a very slow matchup from either side. I mean, both still maintaining the gold lead, and Burmese Ghouls catching up and evening out that score, both the 1-1. Finally, they get that top tier 1. Burmese Ghouls pull ahead slightly, ever so slightly with gold.
Check out the items here on the Burmese Ghouls. D already has 2 core items. That is the Golden Staff and the Demon Hunter Sword. Let's check out Ace here. That's going to be a Blade of Despair right now, just now, and the Raptor Machete. That's going to be Psycho spending here the Rampaging Sandstorm.
Albert's in a little bit of trouble here. Zaman Force already being popped up, and R7, he's trying to find a little bit of leeway, but in the middle of it all, you can see Psycho tanking every single thing that he can just to buy some time for RRQ. But just look at RRQ. All the OG Shadow kills going to be popped up, but the rest of RRQ, they're shoved all the way back to base with a tick of health. How did they even make it out?
Okay, styling and profiling on us. The King of Kings show us, all right, everybody's been running away with 1 health. How about all 4 of us do it at the same time?
Oh my goodness. I mean, whatever, they make it away with 1 health. It's I mean, the Burmese Ghouls got to be really frustrated, and all they get is just a tier 1 from mid. So that's all the tier 1 turrets taken out. Lord is on the table. This game is absolutely ridiculous. 9 minutes into the game, only 26 to 24K. Usually by now, we usually see a lead, but both teams going strong and extremely even.
Yeah, and each of them actually take that damage distribution from the that taunt as Sandstorm has already used up Time Journey perfectly. Big use
and a flicker.
That's very costly.
Oh boy, Vin. Oh boy. He might have misclicked that one. And he this could be huge. They don't have the Time Journey anymore.
All right, here we go. They're coming in. That's a false engage by Ace. I almost thought he was going to pop the shadow kill.
Yeah, I thought that he will actually go in for the full commitment, but Ruby DD also occupying Albert. They know, okay, we can't exactly fully take this fight, and Burmese Ghouls, they're waiting for another chance right here, but the rest of RRQ Hoshi, they try to land maybe a couple of taps of the autos to be able to take down these turrets, but you know, they've already got enough of that clear speed coming from D.
Ooh. Wind of Nature picked up by D now, so he's basically safe from Lemon, even the basics from Psycho. And hold up, real quick, Ruby DD, wild charge out of here, and he just leaves Albert in the dust.
Yeah, and you can see if he stayed any longer or didn't use the flicker, he would definitely gone down. And that Grog didn't look like he's any potent at all. Great catch with the missile arrow landing, but it's going to be time journey being popped immediately from Baby. And the next one to be caught out is D. He's forcing the flicker away. 50% health left, and now RRQ Hoshi attempts to draw the Lord out of the pin. Kid has to respond right now. They're trying to catch Psycho as well, but Lemon definitely going in for a little bit of protection. Over the back, it's going to be a flank coming from the Hayabusa. This might just be it. They're looking for Psycho, and he's going to be putting the quad shadows out there just in case. Great push and pull, but oh boy, we're not getting results here. But Lemon now going in towards the mid side. D already popping the blazing duet, trying to stretch the health out. But here comes Ace. Ace will go in for Lemon alongside Ruby DD. They get one kill in the process for an exchange against Burmese Ghouls Kid.
Oh boy, this is some really good macro coming in for Burmese Ghouls. You could literally see Ace, he's running up topside. There was this fat wave about to crash into that tier 2. And when they see this fight occurring, I would have preferred if D decided to actually, you know, stick around, use the Blazing Duet to his advantage, but he didn't have the ult. So, no choice, he runs up topside and lets Hayabusa stick around.
And so far, it went well for them, right? Trading Kid out for Lemon, winning this whole tug of war, because really, RRQ Hoshi could have finished the Lord there, but it took some time for them to say reset, 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 and I think RRQ Hoshi at some point got frustrated.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, Burmese Ghouls playing a super disciplined game. They will only take fights when Maybe is on their side, or at the very least, the rest of RRQ Hoshi, especially for R7, drops down that ult.
Yeah, and previously, they also managed to get a real good catch on towards Maybe, and that Abyssal Arrow did land perfectly. So they say, okay, it's call time, and maybe we could pull even the Lord, but after that, BG understanding that they need to apply a little bit of pressure, and they've managed to get that catch eventually towards Lemon. Although it's a Lapu-Lapu, but it's still big. Now, forcing the flicker from inside of Psycho. They're trying to chase in. Couple of all these. Oh my goodness. How many bombs are inside that bush?
They've stacked up quite a number in there, but at this point, I think RRQ, they're just looking for a macro opportunity to get inside of the Burmese Ghouls. They want to play, play on the inside, but now Psycho getting caught out. He is gone, and this is going to be the green light for the Burmese Ghouls.
Yep. Going the Eagle straight on towards Lemon. He might just be the next one on the chopping block right now with Albert focusing on towards Kid. Same goes towards R7, while Lemon is still pressing.
Nice journey! It worked out. That's going to be Lemon down, R7 as well, and that's still going to be one more, 4 down. Vin is the only survivor, and he's running back into his base. This could be the finish.
Yeah, look at the timers right now. They don't really have much. Maybe Psycho can come out in 10 seconds, but they can't take as much as they please. And with that, that's a free Lord for Burmese Ghouls.
Yep, they're going straight for that Luminous Lord. This should be no issue, no contestation, and even Psycho is going to be bringing out that Blade armor as well. Oh boy.
I love how Vin just throws out a rogue Abyssal Arrow, just maybe.
Just a Hail Mary.
Maybe.
If this takes it, we'll win.
I'd better try than not. All right, I accept. First Lord going over to Burmese Ghouls.
He didn't even try to stay to look. Oh, did I get it? He just walks away. I'll just throw this javelin. Maybe I might score the longest throw from the Olympics.
Maybe.
Oh boy, it's just one of those situations where cool guys don't look at explosions. If he gets it, he's going to have the best clip of his life.
If he didn't, then let's see what happens. Right now, fight about to break out.
Yeah, Lemon tries to hold on the front line of the defense for RRQ Hoshi, and there you go. Engagement coming in. Time journey's been popped up, but they're chasing right towards the back though. All these waves coming from the side, and it will be Burmese Ghouls looking to secure one tower up top. They immediately disengage, and they know they've gotten enough. It only takes a little bit of a touch over on towards middle as well as on the bottom to just open all the inhibs.
They need to get on out of there. At least they're abusing the mobility of Ace to kind of just steal away the economy and act like a complete bully, making sure that they don't have any way to kind of bring themselves back from this economic damage here. And Burmese Ghouls, as you can see, they're 6K ahead against RRQ. So RRQ, no matter how hard they engage, maybe it's just the problem.
Yep. Oh, he shadow kill, taking out Vin. You try to chase me? Ha! Come back to your circling eagle now, stunning Lemon. He misses the ult on the Lapu Lapu. That's gonna be D coming in. Time's journey, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna be a raging sandstorm by Psycho down, stopping the fight there, and as well across the map, it's gonna be retreat for RRQ Hoshi.
Why did they just let Lemon just stand there? They could have easily taken him out.
Yeah, and like it's a very massive call coming from RQ as well, extending all the way outside, out of the turf, just to perhaps find a couple of all these picks, and maybe that might just be an opening for their side, but you know, still they managed to have Lemon still standing.
Oh boy, 2 minutes away until the Lord is back up, and that just means that RQ have 2 minutes to try and catch up to the Burmese Ghouls.
Yeah, let's take this time to appreciate what Ruby DD is up to. He has a Bloodlust Axe, and I do believe with 2 Legion Swords, you're gonna build Blade of Despair. What's going on with this Grok?
I mean, it's the classic Grok, you know, the kind that deals
This
a
is what
lot
we're
of
used to.
damage. I mean, look at him! No matter how hard Lemon hits him, and Ruby DD is, as long as there's a wave, I can heal back up to full and just clear the wave, do it again, rinse, repeat.
Oh, interesting now. Oh, wild charge knocks up Lapu Lapu and no mercy. All the ults, man. Just all the ults. And I think Lemon is going to get away because here comes Albert.
Oh, Albert coming right in. I'm not too sure if this is definitely a smart call because they can't really get a catch on towards Ace. 7-4's been popped up, and Ruby DD, as much as he's a tank, he's the rock, and he's still trying to survive, and he bought so much time for his out of Burmese Ghouls, and he managed to take down Albert. What a great call! And Burmese Ghouls, they are taking whatever they want because guess what? Game number 2 is going over to the Myanmar side, and we are looking at match point real soon. But Psycho, he's trying to defend for his life, trying to exchange, but look at that live regeneration. But this is it. One more game for Burmese Ghouls, and they will punch the ticket to the grand final.
2 in a row! Burmese Ghouls! If this was a best of 3, they just got, I mean, if this was a best of 3, RQ just got knocked to the lower brackets, but this is a best of 5s. This is the semifinals that we're waiting for to see who books that slot into the finals, the grand finals itself, and Burmese Ghouls looking mighty fine.
I'm back, guys. But for that,
Welcome.
I am speechless.
Welcome, Butters.
Burmese Ghouls, they had this certain thing in mind that the Diggy is really the gem that they found, the hidden gem that nobody looked at. But for them, this is going to be one of their lethal weapons for the M2 World Championship.
It's not a reactive
Sure that it's
Diggy.
going to be the Sylvana and the Cho's just going to be rotating across the map, or it could be the other way around. Who knows? But Hilda might not get a lot of value.
Yeah, but the thing is, Gideon, right now, and in other tournaments as well, there's this Khalid and Hilda setup that goes into the jungle, and they try to push out marksmen jungles like Claude. That could be the game plan here for the side of Burmese Ghouls. RRQ Hoshi, how do they stop this?
I mean, they've got the low Yi on their side.
Yeah.
And I think that's already one piece of the puzzle that they need to consider. And it really depends on which side of the map the turtle is going to spawn, and more importantly, which buff is going to be contested here. Because if they guess wrongly, it's like, oh no, they're not on their orange buff. I've wasted too much time. It can be a little too late. So let's see how this goes, and more importantly, the lane assignments.
And it's time to go into the Celestial Palace, and I am gonna throw you to our casters, Gideon, Leo, and Contra. Take the floor.
You know, potentially this is going to be the final game between these best of 5 series, or unless RQ is going to change the tempo of the game. But speaking of which, we're already seeing Vin being pressured from the get-go and, well, has to get himself regenerated.
Yeah, just look at the way they opened it up. They sent RubyDD in just because they know he can get out no problem. Maybe he walks in safely, at least no problems there. Top side's going to get pressured, bottom side get a little bit of a push, but more importantly, they have mid-prio, so they know exactly which buff they're going to go on before actually looking to consider the invade.
Yep, and right now, as we expected, maybe alongside Kid even, forcing out the time for Albert to take that buff, although not as fast or not as slow as they wanted to, so we're still relatively at equilibrium. But yeah, this is going to be R7 on the side lane show. Their tank here is going to be Psycho. Now maybe comes in.
Yeah, maybe now a bit too much more than he could chew. The rest of Burmese Ghouls is not going to be giving him any sort of helping hand, but he might just be walking out. First blood for RRQ.
And what did I say? Not going to get as much value, even though he did take the Purify as well, which is really good. A really good shout too. Maybe understanding that it's like, yes, there is quite a lot of CC there, so I got to be a little bit more careful. But again, once you get onto that blue side, there's only a few brushes that you can work with, and if you get hit by the Cosmic Lance, it's game over.
Indeed. Now, of course, a lot of pressure on towards the top side. Blazing to it already used up, but nothing too lethal for D to deal with. And Turtles coming up next, knowing there's no Blazing to it. This is going to be some pretty good deals for the side of Burmese Ghouls if they really want to contest.
Given how crazy games 1 and 2 went, I'd like to just comment on the overall lineup and especially how they're behaving. This is relatively tame. Like it's come down. Like after all the diggy action from game 1 and 2, like we've gone back to the basic 1-3-1. Like this is interesting to see how these two teams are gonna be pushing the envelope and seeing how far they can take it. Now Mountain Shocker here by Ace, and they catch out Psycho.
Wrong place, wrong time. Psycho definitely had seen better days for sure. And
You definitely hate to see it.
like things like this, you can't really commit such errors in such a point in time because we're talking about this game of depth. He might just drop towards the lower bracket, but for Kit though, he's having a lot of chunk of helping to get out. And then caught out, flickers away, but the dive is already being set. Ruby D tries to go in for the X. He's a little bit too deep, and scores the turret range as he soaked a couple of all these sort of tabs, but you can definitely see Psycho still going at it over on towards R7. He's still staying in lane.
Yeah, and Lapu Lapu Lemon is on the bottom side. He's going to get a good amount of gold there. Benedetta finally catches up, but she is low. Lemon, he pops the ult. He wants to go for the kill so bad. Flickers right on top of it. Doesn't even give him the chance, but Kid looking for the return kill.
Nah, I don't think that Kid could possibly do much here after everything expended, including the flicker, has already gotten him a little bit of safety ground, but RQ already pulling the turtle out. But look at D, though. He's coming from the back line. Deathstorm and towards RRQ as they put in a challenge, but look who's arrived. Blazing to win, and the rest of Burmese Ghouls, they got caught up with the weight of the dragon as well. Baby goes down, double kill going for the side of PG.
A late response here by Ruby DD, popping the Electo final blow, not even landing most of those slashes from behind. Gotta note, I think Ruby DD, this is a good call to actually rotate and leave bottom lane because Lemon's doing something right there, because I think Ruby DD should have the advantage. He has the high-end dry, he has the whole kit of Benedetta, and against Lapu Lapu, you should be winning more fights than you're losing, so I don't understand. So now I get why he went up here. This might be greener pastures.
Yeah, speaking of which here, R7 obviously will have to just give a little bit of the sort of goal away, and Flicker being popped up. Close one.
Not in range of the darkness, but down on, the greener pastures here, D is taking quite a beating, and the Sandstorm Guardian, Quicksand Guard is not going to be enough to take it out, and RRQ going to profit off of this, while BG up on top of the top side is going to be trading 1 for 1.
It's a mirror. Turn. It's a mirror. A little faster on RRQ though. Oh, sorry, I'm a little faster on Burmese Ghouls, but the gold lead is still very significant, about 1,500 here for RRQ in about 5 minutes time.
Yeah, and we've already got 4 kills on Albert. Unless if they can shut him down right now, then maybe it might just be a little bit of even terms, but we definitely see that they need to actually get Ace back up ahead. And speaking of Ace here, he gets caught by Psycho, and he gets bursted down by Sylvana with great Imperial Justice.
Wow, that was really smart. Vin sets it up, and oh wait, hold on, it's not over. Maybe he might be in a little bit of trouble and makes sure that he shows his recall. Can't catch me, but yeah, smart stuff.
Oh no, Ruby DD gets caught out after the Electo final blow. Still catches quite a few bullets from Albert here, and underneath the turret, that's Burmese Ghouls losing this fight even on their home turf. Kid couldn't take down Lemon. That's 2 for none.
Yeah, and slowly but surely, RRQ Hoshi is getting all these sort of leads, and speaking of which, Ace now in trouble once again. Psycho takes all the damage. Wow, look at Finn. He's slowly becoming that mage monster, and D can only hold on for so long.
This is interesting positions to be in here, for sure. For sure. But RRQ Hoshi finally getting Burmese Ghouls to play their own game, but now the Brilliance comes out.
Oh, Albert here returning with the blazing duet, and he times it so perfectly. They underestimated what the rest of RRQ Hoshi could have done, and he pays the price by popping the brilliance for an offensive round.
Yeah, maybe here wants a little bit more. He is going to be a little too aggressive, a little too haughty for my taste here. 6 minutes, 30 seconds in, there's a turtle up. I think Ace is just, I don't know, poking the lion. Might get bitten here. Real quick, I think an item check would be in the right timing, because after that turtle take, we're sitting at a close to 4K deficit behind for Burmese Ghouls. Albert already has the Demon Hunter sword. He already has his machete, and I'm pretty sure that's next going to be a golden staff.
This is pretty huge, but now Ruby DD caught in the Imperial Justice is a full-on fight.
Yeah, this is not looking all too good. They get one free pick, but R7 is just going to be walking on top of maybe and says, oh, you know, there's not going to be any threat. I'm just going to take this free turret. Okay, great work. And there's nothing that Burmese Ghouls can actually gain out of, but they're already setting up shop here. Lemon goes in to dive on towards maybe once again. As you can see, Kid does all that he can just to take Lemon, but it's been costing a lot. Mount Shocker now spots out the rest of RRQ, but oh, over the mid side, D goes down.
They want to get some more brilliance. Comes out perfectly. Great dodge, but that's not going to be it when the blazing duet comes through. Rotations to try to slow it down, but it's not going to be enough. It's going to be a full-on chase coming in for the Burmese Ghouls.
They can't finish. Oh, finally one for Ruby DD. And from the back, a little too deep. Nice knockup by R7. That's going to be Ace trying to run away. That Yusen Shin survives. And up front, it's Ruby DD dancing. Albert finally ends it. 3 for 2 is the final tally.
Somebody's got to stop Albert, and as much as they try to do that, Ruby DD has expended everything he can. Electo, you name it. Like, they can't get the grasp on towards this really slippery clod. And, you know, for Lemon as well as R7, they say, okay, it's worth it to just buy a little bit more of the attention heading in towards the tier 2 over the mid side. And, well, call for that sort of the exchange. Now 15 seconds towards the next objective here. Can Burmese Ghouls contest?
Well, to be fair, there is no lock on Burmese Ghouls, right? It's only maybe. Maybe has to hit him with the 2 over and over again, and then that's it. It's a huge ult that you catch, but hold up! Way of the Dragon!
Way of the Dragon has been expanded here. Mountain Shocker as well, as they force a way to go on a retreat. But Lemon wants this fight. He's going right in, tries to look for Kid, but you can see Psycho jumps right in, tries to get him with the Imperial Justice, locks him down as R7 gets the kill. The next one will be D as he tries to run for his life, but now all he can do is just to hold on to the rest of the members of RRQ, and the rest of Burmese Ghouls get a little bit of breathing space to retreat.
They have to breathe now. They finally get to breathe, but Albert, he is just absolutely gigantic here. He's got 7 kills under his belt, level 13 in comparison to Kid, who's only level 8, and not to mention that Ace only level 12 here. Like, Ace really needs to make a play, but Psycho, he's going to find the first catch, but I don't think they're able to capitalize on it just yet, and this is what they've been doing between Psycho and Vin. Vin has been sending Psycho into these really awkward positions, and if the Burmese get caught out, that's when Psycho jumps on and the rest of RRQ pounces.
Yep, that's the fanciest face check I've ever seen. You had to use the diversion just to see, is anyone there? You could have walked it, but here's another one, obviously. I think the fact that Vin and Psycho have been pulling this off means Mountain Shocker's not enough. There needs to be more vision. There needs to be a little bit more information outside the Burmese Ghouls to get back here and to give Ace more space. But right now, it's looking like RRQ Hoshi's owning the map. They are ahead about 7,000 gold. For the first time in this best of 5, RRQ Hoshi is obviously in the lead now. Wave the Dragon on to D.
Yeah, and it seems like they do miss the Sandstorm right there, but Ruby DD is going to be caught out by the Blazing Duet. Going to help the Benedetta as he goes legendary, but maybe now, just fall back for the moment. And like you said, they can always go in for the backdoor divergence out there, and maybe has pulled in the attention way too much. Psycho catches him off.
Yeah, it looks like RRQ have adapted well. They're forcing the Burmese Ghouls to play their game, a very traditional, very classic style here. They have to kind of get some pressure on towards the side lanes, but again, the macro coming up from RRQ in the lead. They have huge with the Blazing Duet as they take out one and now go for the second.
Wow, great dance down to land on top of members of the side of Hoshi, and Electo has been popped up on top of Lemon as he flickers away, but he does not escape from the grasp of the Benedetta. Ruby DD, as when she gets one, the mid lane now exposed, but at least Burmese Ghouls, they finally catch a couple of members of RRQ.
Good news and bad news. Good is they shut down Albert. Bad news is they lost all of their out of the base turrets. They only have inhibitors left, so the rest of the map is open. It's going to be hard to go for Lord contest. It's going to be hard to go for wave clear. It's going to be hard to even get your own buffs. So slowly but surely, I think the Burmese Ghouls here are going to want to make sure that they take what they can while Albert is out. But hold up, that's a cancel diversion. In goes Psycho.
Oh, Psycho tries to actually goes in for the Lord Steal attempt, but here comes Vin as well. He's catching on towards Kid, but it's not enough. Brilliant's being popped. He's going to be safe. Burmese Ghouls, they do get the Lord. Big news for the Myanmar side as they do have to play with the Spur, and they are preparing for a comeback.
Vin. I mean, Vin was trying to do his very best to try and chunk out the main damage dealer, going to be Kid and Ace on their side of the map. But I think overall, very desperate attempt. He probably should have played a little bit towards the back line, waited for R7, and maybe could have potentially baited Burmese Ghouls into a fight that they weren't expecting to get that pick. However, now that that is done, Lord is going to be knocking on their door, and let's see how Burmese Ghouls maximize their goal, because this was their comeback mechanic.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of game number 1 where, you know, once they get that Lord, they will be able to just get a lot more of that macro pressure going on. And speaking of macro pressure, you look at RubyDD all the way up towards the mid side. He uses the Electo, not really the direction that he could possibly get any sort of a way to escape, but the Lord already knocking on towards the top side here. And it seems like they will be able to save it.
Also, check out R7. He's just working, man. He's just working, pushing up this wave, and in comes D. If anyone can afford to like check into things, it should be maybe it should be D. But hold up, Kid gets destroyed.
Oh, that's a big one coming in. He just shouldn't build his way in. And, well, of course, he did use his Wear the Dragon, but here comes Psycho locking in D with the Imperial Justice as D will be able to walk out alive. But the rest of the members of BG, they're focusing their attention on a split 2-2, as the other members just trying to see whether or not will they just dive right in.
I think RubyDD should take care of himself more. Again, that whole defense that turned into the Albert shutdown and eventually into the Lord was only because RubyDD performed. RubyDD did so well, and I think if they can protect him a little more and again tell him not to go too deep, maybe 1 or 2 more team fights that go that way, then yeah, Burmese Ghouls can reclaim the map. But right now, if there's another pickoff on RRQ Hoshi is looking at a quick finish after that.
Yeah, and I think I would totally agree with you there, Leo, because again, RRQ, they've got the better front-to-front combat system against Burmese Ghouls. Burmese Ghouls need to get in towards that backside. They need to take out Albert. Albert is gigantic, and he's going to be so hard to catch. He's 8-1 unless he makes a mistake with his Blazing Duet, which he doesn't necessarily even need most of the fights.
Yeah, you can already see RRQ Hoshi is on an automation mode itself. Like, they're so comfortable with this recent meta, and R7 could definitely buy as much time as he wants from all these sort of side lanes, do exactly what RRQ Hoshi does best, you know, just pressure from both left and the right wing, and now Vin also gets his big purchases.
You know what? I'd like to add to what you just said. Comfortable in this current meta. I'd like to think they're pushing the meta. Save for that whole Diggy thing, like that's a Burmese thing. But for our Q here, games, they've also shown us quite a bit of what they're capable of when they're trying to get creative. But right now, this is just bread and butter. Gotta point out as well, the unsung hero here, Vin. A lot of these engages, a lot of these team fights, a lot of these free pickoffs would not happen without Vin.
That's right, and of course, very fair point right there. And I definitely think that Vin has been able to actually go in to just set up a really great sort of engagement opportunity for the side of RRQ alongside with Psycho, and you could evidently see like easily he's managed to just participate in 16 of these fights.
Ooh. I think they need to just slow it down. I mean, like, RRQ Hoshi is just literally waiting for the Lord to come up, have their win conditions at hand, and this is their last push. If Burmese Ghouls is able to defend it, then the gold is not going to matter, and this game is going to drag on until Kingdom Come, until somebody makes that mistake. And right now, R7, he's actually quite a force to be reckoned with, especially when he has Hydra in a 1v1 lane against RubyDD, who has a slight advantage only because of the battle spell.
Well, speaking of which, this is where the Waiter Dragon will connect towards RubyDD, and in this 1v1, you can obviously see who exactly is winning the trades, as he will call for this to be breaking off. And with the Lord already being out there, RRQ Hoshi is having Albert just pulling the Lord out while the rest of Burmese Ghouls, they're arriving towards the scene, and they does get a catch right here. But Lemon, he's really getting all the attention that they need for Albert to come right in for the Blazing Duet. The rest of the members of Burmese Ghouls, they're shredded down as they melt like butter. But Ace, they do get out of this one with a slither health, and D, he cannot really hold on for this defense.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. Like, Ruby DD is such a big part of this fight, and the fact that R7 just isolated him and now might take him out is such a big deal. Nice use of Sword Intent to run away. Another free dash here for our Benedetta. Ruby DD, oh, he goes on for miles. This is a marathon for his life, and R7, he's not going to give up. He knows you're still there. Nice use of Electro Final Blow, going to be clearing the wave. Lord taken out off camera. Quick solo there by Albert, and this could go forever, and there's a knockout.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Ruby DD did his job, and that is, oh, we're losing the fight, clear the waves. You have no way to really pressure us until the Lord is up. And now that, the Lord is down, that might, change things just a little bit, but it buys enough time for the Burmese Ghouls to prepare for it. Okay, we're back off of our cooldowns, we're back alive in our base, and we can actually defend this properly.
If I really could just honor an MVP right now, like you said, it's R7 because he really pulled the entirety of the attention of Ruby DD up to the point that, yeah, you might just go in for the split push, but if you can't get anywhere near the Lord, like they were attempting Lord, and they know that, okay, doesn't matter, this Benedetta is already on the elastic of health, and you can just keep him there for a long time. But here comes the dive, and Psycho is trying to go in for the setup.
Yeah, he wants to go for a little bit more, but Lord, they're playing this slow. They're not looking to get those fights. They're saying, hey, give them the inhibitors. As long as we can get rid of this Lord, we have a great opportunity. Mid is going to be the next target here, but when is the fight going to start?
And speaking of which here, this might just be the end of it all if they don't take out the Lord. And with that, RRQ Hoshi breaks down the final inhibitor up towards the mid side. And now all doors being opened up for RRQ Hoshi to secure point number 1. But you can see Burmese Ghouls, they're looking to set up the perfect defense right here. Maybe getting a chunk of health being taken out, but Lemon, they're in the middle of it all, and D almost dropping out as he tries to get his health all the way back up. But look at Ruby DD finally going in for Electos. He tries to cut over on towards the back lines, and Finn, he does fall down with a slither of health still left. Mountain Chakra being popped up. They're going for Albert, and the Sandstorm goes in for that dive, but RQ is prepared for this defense. And look at Finn, he's perfectly positioned. He might just be able to turn this one around. D goes down, but he does have immortality to buy a few seconds off. And look at it. It's still 4 members still available for Burmese Ghouls for the defense.
That was a great fight for both sides here. RRQ finding the picks that they were looking for, Lemon doing a great job, R7 able to zone out the right targets, and Burmese Ghouls pulling back when necessary, but that's not all. They're going to fight one more time, trying to duke it out.
Maybe you're going to be running away, but the Blazing Duet has been called in by Albert, and Psycho takes down Ruby DD. Again, a very big key to this defense and the whole Burmese Ghouls agenda. And right now, that's 3 defenders left. 5 for RRQ Hoshi. They can smell blood. They know that it could end right here, right now, and it's looking grim for the Burmese Ghouls. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a fight you don't want to miss. That's down onto maybe, knockout onto one more. Ace goes. That's going to be it. Game number 3. RRQ Hoshi is still in the upper bracket in this one.
Woo! The semifinals are looking good. RRQ managed to take another game, managed to take a game from the Burmese Ghouls, bringing it 2-1. So this bout is not over just yet.
Now, looking at the draft, they just banned out the Diggy. And it feels like RRQ, they're more, how do you say, confident into just going for the initiates, knowing that the Diggy isn't there.
I think more importantly is that Burmese Ghoul is playing in a particular style that RRQ is very comfortable with back home in Indonesia. Like, they do this every other day in the MPL. So Burmese Ghouls, they got to get a little bit more creative here if they want to get ahead. And for the majority of the game, even though that they were down a ton of kills, they were able to kind of maintain that goal lead.
Especially if you're snowballing. So I think Brody is just an all-around better choice than the Bruno.
More reliable choice.
Yeah. More painful in the early game.
Woo! Oh, Burmese Ghouls, who are they going to go for? They need a tank or a tank figure here for their side, and it is going to be a Baksha.
This definitely slipped our mind. Like, this is definitely something that they could still actually make good use of. But I mean, somebody's got to get all the way back.
Yeah, Todak used a lot of backsha. And these two teams don't really go for this backsha usually. But for the side of Burmese Ghouls, it made all the sense in the world just because there's an Esmeralda, you can catch out the Brody, you can negate some of the healing by the Rafaela, so it makes a lot of sense.
And not to mention that it's also a pretty, I mean, the Twice Poissance is always going to be relevant against Alice and Lapu Lapu. So just anti-healing, taking away another pick, and RQ just going to say, all right, fine, it looks like I got to dominate this lane.
I like it. Vin can just swap between Albert and Lemon, who he wants to go hyper with. But it looks fragile. I gotta say, it looks fragile, but if it works, whoo, you got the early, mid, late, just marksman just running around. It's a high risk, high reward lineup.
Okay, so right now, I think there's a chance that Lemon might play the 1-1. So at early game, it's going to be Brody and the Rafaela, just giving that what do you call this? Brody the certain push to actually just have a certain advantage in terms of healing and the movement speed. But at the late game, it could be a Lemon aid. It will aid Lemon. It's a Lemon aid.
Butters, I give it a 2 out of 10. It's been a long day.
I mean, you guys just didn't
It's
get
been
it.
a long day. All right.
Tough crowd here at the cast.
I mean, I tried my best, but I hope you guys
for effort.
try your best as well as you will cast the game for this series. Game number 4. Take it away, guys. I give up.
Obviously, game 4 brain on Butters. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on. One more game until we say it's the final one for this semifinals round. Burmese Ghouls versus RRQ Hoshi.
Let's see how they play this out here. Now, RRQ are going to be looking to control this mid game as much as possible with the rest of BG. Are you still thinking about it?
I'm good. I'm good. It's
A little
go
bit.
time. It's
Honestly,
go time.
a little bit.
It's go
Go
time.
Butters. Like, we just can't get it off our heads, and for the side of BG, they gotta find a way to get in the hands of RRQ, starting off by taking down Lemon.
A huge pick off here, and that's why, you know, the box set can be a very annoying pick because, again, it rotates so fast and you don't exactly have a lot of time to react to it overall. And not to mention, with the added, you know, chain CC coming in from Ruby DD, it just helps it speed it up some more.
I like that first blood. I mean, it's good for Burmese Ghouls because they're cheesing out. Nice steal by RRQ. This is smart. This is smart. And are they baiting out their second core? Are they baiting out their second core just for the steal? I don't think so. In goes Ruby DD. Oh, they missed out. Lemon out, playing them. Hold up. You're going to pay, says Ace. 2 for 1 so far. They do have the purple, I think, but they lost out on the orange. They trade out Ruby DD. I call it a wash.
I mean, not gonna lie, Ruby DD kind of trolled there, especially when Yishin Shin was coming up there. But more importantly, maybe actually took the execute. I thought he was gonna take the rejuvenate, and that's why he just popped him straight away at level 1.
Ooh, I like the execute choice. This is a lethal Baksha coming in, making sure that everything he starts, he finishes.
Yeah, just like what he did on the Grok in the sort of way, you know, gotta play it a little bit more offensively, but I just missed a little bit of a glimpse of that. Yeah, pretend I didn't see that.
All right, but for now, the turtle is back up, and this has been a high contestation point for a lot of these teams. How is Burmese Ghouls, especially with a lineup like this, very standard overall, going to deal with RRQ as R7 getting a pretty good lead onto D here, but this is going to be the 1v1 of a lifetime. He has to dodge a lot of these abilities when he transforms into that big broadsword. He's got to be a lot more careful.
Nice Cyclone Eye steal here by Kid. And I guess Burmese Ghouls is just of the mind of, you took our orange, let us take most of the things in your jungle that we can take safely right now. Starting up this turtle, nice vision being set in here by Ace. Mountain Shocker. Oh, they know that all 4 or 5 are here.
Oh, they will be able to get the turtle, though. Psycho's chasing right in for Kid, but you can definitely see maybe he's dropping really low. The rest of RRQ, they're focusing their attention on towards D. He might fall, and oh my goodness, look at the damage coming out of Albert as they will be securing 2. But in exchange, of course, a little bit of a back and forth, but still looking pretty hot coming from RRQ.
Ooh, maybe here with the concussive blast dealing a little bit more damage, and Ace can't finish the job. Maybe his execute is off of cooldown. Interesting how they didn't get anything at that.
I mean, again, execute works in a very particular. Oh, R7.
Oh!
He was willing to trade. He wanted to go for the double kill, and now Psycho has to sit under the turret to protect the cell. He 1,000-pounder out of there, and now, I mean, 2-for-1 trade. Regardless, RRQ very happy with the situation, but now D wants to get the kill. Ah, no! No!
Oh man, this is a full-blown Rumble Royale in such a way, and you can definitely see up top, it's gonna be Lemon. It's gonna be having the Aegis for himself, and Albert has arrived and torn him apart. All memories all washed up.
I mean, if they give it enough time, Burmese Ghouls is going to slowly fall off, especially when in the likes of having Brody and Wan in that position. However, I will say that Burmese Ghouls have a lot of utility in their composition.
Oh yeah, for sure. Psycho here, gonna go ahead and retreat. Close one. That's gonna be a takedown by Ace underneath their own turret. I wonder where the trade-off's gonna happen. Yeah, RRQ Hoshi going for that top lane. Both marksmen getting quite a chunk of damage in. The first to take it down. Open artery in mid. Vin from the back lines. Nice jump in by R7. Maybe steals. The Cyclone Eye bumps right in to Vin.
That was really dangerous here. You could definitely see Vin, although he's low, he's trying to pull it back, and it's gonna be it. R7 will be able to find that pickup here, and D running for his life. He's trying to turn this one around, but how long can he just survive as R7 goes in for another? It's a 4-1 on R7's side.
I'm so very confused here. I mean, maybe he decides to turn around with the Cyclone Eye, but again, what was the Burmese Ghouls trying to do? Were they trying to buy a lot of time so that he could get the push and break the shield off down bot lane, or were they trying to go for the invade and steal away a couple of camps? Not entirely sure, but they didn't get that return of investment that I was looking for.
Yeah, if anything, that was a masterful outplay, a team fight orchestrated over the span of what, 20-30 seconds by RRQ Hoshi. They won overall. They won. That was their call.
Oh, RubyDD getting a good hit onto Lemon, but again, only 50% of his life goes down, and the rest of the Burmese Ghouls want to say hi.
And Psycho now being stuck in a rock the hard place. As you can definitely see, Lemon has already gone down, and Psycho makes it out alive, giving the turret away to Burmese Ghoul. At least this exchange is favorable for the side of BG, as they're hoping to catch even more out of that, but maybe stuck in between the pit is really able to jump over the wall. So RRQ Hoshi, yeah, they're still having very slight leads at the moment.
I mean, they're getting some good pushes here and there across the map, but again, pretty 50-50 overall. The gold, relatively the same, 2 objectives each. The only real difference is that RRQ have been able to get a little bit more turtles in comparison to the Burmese Ghouls. And at the end of the day, it does come down to the fight. Ooh, RubyDD forcing out the flicker out of him. This is important because RubyDD, once he scales up and gets into that backline, if he gets a huge flowing blood with that blood ode, he can just start chunking out a lot of these squishier targets.
That's what's interesting about both lineups. They have quite the insurance policy. Both can scale pretty well, but it looks like RRQ Hoshi just wants to get there first. And so far, mission accomplished. They're ahead by about 2,000 gold, give or take. But Burmese Ghouls, they're regaining quite a bit of the map. It's looking pretty blue, save for that huge wave coming up top. But right now, maybe cutting the wave from the back to give space for Ace. But right now, Vin and Psycho want to engage.
The rest of the cavalry has arrived. D being stuck by the corner. He's got the flicker away. The rest of RRQ hunting him down. And Burmese Ghouls will have to give up D. And well, so close for Vin, and he survives.
So very close. And I mean, D sacrifices his life just so the rest of the team has first rotation on this turtle. Burmese Ghouls know what they are doing. Great use of the diversion as well. Maybe he just needs to slow them down. They get the turtle, and now, could they go for a pick? No, it's a little too dangerous. They gotta back away.
Oh, look at Albert though. Great position. Trying to pick up. Maybe. Oh, it's a setup. A big setup. As you can see, they were blown apart, and Albert is down.
We need to see the items. How far is RubyDD in this game?
Oh boy, let's pull it up.
Here we go. He has the Enchanted Talisman, so no problems with mana. That's going to be the Clock of Destiny as well. And if I'm not mistaken, he's building up towards at least some magic lifesteal. But right now, that's going to be... Oh, RubyDD from the back. R7 is in trouble. That's going to be the Blood Ode pop. D looking for a nice target. That's going to be crossbow tag taken out, kid.
Oh, he's going to be able to take D down low as well.
Ooh.
Not much to be left and said. just look at how they maneuver across the map. Blade Despair on the hands of Ace as they are looking to shut down the rest of RRQ. But they're still output as well as win. There is a little bit of hope for them to turn this one around. But they still have the buff in hand. And Burmese Ghouls really picked up the right fight.
2 for 2 here. D and Kid for R7 and Lemon. If you're talking about who's more valuable, I'd give the win here to Burmese Ghouls. You took out 2 cores, 2 side laners that RRQ Hoshi have invested so much in, and all that was lost was D and the support.
Yeah, I would agree on that trade as well. And the Burmese Ghouls, honestly, just evening out the gold against RRQ Hoshi here, where both sides, it's really going to come down to when the Lord is coming up real soon, and really who is going to be winning these fights. I mean, Burmese Ghouls have been so disciplined with the way they take their fights. They won't go without an advantage.
Small skirmishes over on towards Psycho. You don't want to be on that Akai this position. The rest of BG, it will be really tough to break out of that Hurricane dance. Now, Mounty Shocker reveals the rest of RRQ. A little bit of 1v1 action going on, but you know, Lemon has to back away. This is not where he should push his advantages all the way towards BG side, and there goes Lord on the 9th minute. We can see Wings on the side of D as he gets more beefier.
Yeah, I think real quick, while we're waiting for this first Lord take to happen, a lot of the reasons why players get away with like 1 HP and then just live is because they're so good at juggling defensive item now. It's part of the meta game. And right now, they're jockeying for position. Burmese Ghouls have already started Ace on the Lord.
I'm not too sure if RQ knows about this, and speaking of which, they are already having Psycho being caught in between, and a great wall of defense just to gatekeep the rest of RQ from even marching anywhere close. But R7 is coming within towards the middle side. He's trying to disturb this Lapu Lapu, but you know, not exactly the ones that he's been looking for.
Somebody just has to push up too far. Falling Star Moon on the wave. RRQ want to have full mid control so they can sink their feet really deep in towards this Lord side and start pulling up their trenches so that when Burmese Ghouls do decide to push on through, they can take full advantage of it. But look, top side as well. They're getting a push. Oh, wait!
Maybe getting caught out right now. The Hurricane Dance will push him all the way towards the back. As you can see, D coming in response, trying to hunt out where exactly Albert is. But just look at his health. Big chunks out away. Maybe it will eventually fall to the hands of Lemon. As you can already see, they're focusing on towards Albert instead, putting every resources that they have, and they have managed to shut him down. While BG, they might just be able to close out a few members, but just look at Psycho as well as Lemon. They're dropping real low. Rupee DT, he's putting so much of the hard work, and he might just be able to catch them down. It's a 3-for-2 exchange now in favor of the side of RQ, but they have to back away.
It's Ace and D taken down. It's Kid, Ruby DD surviving 3-for-3 right now, and neither walk away with a free Lord, neither get much movement on the map. It's because these fights are lasting longer than either are comfortable with. And now that's R7 pushing away Kid. He might even get the kill. Oh, he does! He does! R7 does the unthinkable in the face of maybe, and here comes Lemon. Wow, RRQ Hoshi's so fast on the takeback.
Unbelievable, he's extending so far up ahead. You did not expect this Esmeralda to be up in your face.
Yeah, they got to push on even further, and R7 once again onto Ruby DD, who's clearing up the waves, and again, Lord is up. Flowing Blood is going to put him into safety, but the rest of the Burmese Ghouls, they're just getting ready to start another fight, and it's still even on both sides.
Psycho jumping right in, zoning out the at the moment. Well, maybe he tries to go in for the face check. Lemon is already getting himself pretty much pinning him off, but just look at R7, he's having that big fat shield, but Ruby DD comes in for the back, hoping to actually get a catch, but maybe he's dropping real low, and this is not looking all too good for Burmese Ghouls. They get caught out, and the Blood O has been popped. He can only last for so long, but just look at the back though. R7 almost takes out Ace.
Tough all across the board. They managed to get the pick with nothing in return, and Burmese Ghouls finally they're slowly losing the lead here, but in terms of gold, not that big of a deal, but they lose a lot of position, especially with that Lord, and the question is, how far ahead is RRQ going to get with this upcoming Lord push?
It's enhanced, by the way. Now R7 caught out here by 4. There's a lot of damage coming out to him. Maybe gets the job done, but at what cost? There is a huge wave coming in from bottom, being taken care of by Lemon. Lord marching up top with enhanced minions, mind you. Oh, I think the Burmese Ghouls need to make the most of the gold they've gotten real quick. Let's check the items onto Ace. That's going to be the Bladed Spear. Endless Battle, I think he's looking for Queen's Wings right after. D has that casual Dreadnought armor. Queen's Wings as well, and the Bloodlust Axe. Oh, I think he needs more damage. D needs a lot more damage here. It's not enough.
Yeah, we definitely see it's pretty evident, and just look at how they need to expend so many resources just to take down R7 has gone to be a huge factor of RQ's current lead. So they should be able to shred this Lord down to less than 50%, but RQ, they're looking to finally pick up, and now Albert is being chunked down. This is not looking all too good, and Blood Oath has been used out there. They've been able to catch out the Brody, and things are not looking any all too well for the side of RRQ. Burmese Ghouls calls in for the small victories.
Oh boy, and just looking at the situation, it's unfortunate. Somebody needs to really take care of Albert to peel a lot of these, backline divers away, especially Ruby DD, who has no problem absorbing the damage because he's just going to heal it back up. So, again, they need to start thinking about getting some heal reduction. And more important to R7, he needs to be able to get a good chunk and be a part of the fight.
Yep, and here we go. 3v1. R7 is just being chased by a crowd. Can Psycho save him? He's going to jump in. Oh, that's going to be Vin joining the fight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is M2 Action game number 4. Here we go. Oh, there's 3 fights happening at the same time.
Yeah, they are dispersing all across the map. Beautiful work and dance, and they might just be able to catch out maybe as he just lights up. And this is so tough to actually pick up. It's still lasting on towards this fight, and they finally found a way to remove this Loyi.
Doesn't feel good, man. You trade Vin for Ace and Kid. That's a bargain. That's something you would never miss out on a good day.
And you still didn't get R7. Yet threw 3 people at him. He takes 2 of you out, and you trade the other guy. It's like this. You just got scammed.
And the other guy is literally the guy who will want to die anyways.
Yeah, and speaking of which here, Psycho is also pushing them back as well. Maybe it might just be the free pick, but will they invest a lot on towards him because he is dropping really low. But Albert looking to finish things off toward him. And Port, once again, lost out with a crossbow time. Being used up, but Ruby DD coming in with the Blood Oath as well. He will be able to last longer than he should, but R7 a little bit too late to the scene.
This is too even of a fight. Unfortunately, RRQ only get that 3K gold lead, ever so slightly 3K rounded up. But Burmese Ghouls at 42, I mean, a lot of these fights aren't decided by them. Most of the times, every time they have made a play, RRQ take a really defensive stance, and they are really good at defending the aggression coming in for Burmese Ghouls. And RRQ, the only time they get aggressive is when they get a pick on the Burmese Ghouls.
And that's why the fight seems so orchestrated by RRQ Hoshi. They're the ones who dictate, and there's the ones who say it's over, or you can keep going. And even if they do lose trades, it's actually all right. So here's what I'm wondering. Why can't Kid use diversion as good as Vin did in game number 3? It's interesting because this is what you should do, right? Like, try to bring 1 or 2 folks into the backline and take out Albert, but instead they're just walking into R7 and Psycho.
Yeah, it's of course much more easily executed when you do have a Sylvana. Now they don't really have that. So if you're expanding a lot of all these frontliners all the way up top, it's going to be a catch coming in from RRQ as we will have to hold that compensation. Crossbow tank, as you can definitely see, Kid managing to survive that sort of the aggressive pull from the side of RRQ, but they do get this Lord for free.
Wait, look on top side here. As you can see, D is getting a really good tier 2 push here, and he should be able to take it with no problem.
Oh, yeah. But, Gideon, are you not taking this as signs of despair, right? Like, there's nothing else they can do on the map. They can't contest Lord. They can't fight RRQ Hoshi front on anymore. So they're just like, okay, we'll take what we can elsewhere and just keep running away. I'm sensing that Burmese Ghouls have chosen to turn the other cheek. They're on the back foot right now. How long will it take before they're back on track to setting the pace? Here we go. Check this out. Wind of Nature onto Ace, as well as an Endless Battle last time we checked. He's looking better now. D just picked up the Ancient... that's the Ancient Cuirass, I believe?
Yeah, the Anti-Cuirass.
Anti-Cuirass, there you go. They're both old. They're both old. So, that being said, he's going to be all right against Lemon. He's going to be all right against Albert. But if R7 gets a beat on this Lapu Lapu, it's going to be tough.
Honestly, this lore push is going to be a make it or break it for the Burmese Ghouls. It's either they defend it and then scale back up, or it's just going to be over.
Last call for a dive coming in with Psycho already hopping out, trying to look for the perfect Hurricane dance. And speaking of which, you can definitely see D trying to go all the way towards the back line. They are all torn apart. And Burmese Ghouls, they have lost 3 members. And with this might just be the reverse sweep commencing from this point onwards, because RRQ Hoshi is bringing it in towards a Game 5.
Oh boy, yeah, I mean, they've learned from their mistakes from M1 itself, and they've become a dominant team to the point where reverse sweeps isn't even in their dictionary. They are able to set the pace, and they won't let the Burmese Ghouls take it away from them, not without a fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go the distance. This is Game 4 taken by RRQ Hoshi. Butters, man, it really came to lemonade, huh?
Lemonade, that's what I'm telling you. It was funny and it made a lot of sense. Now, I'm gonna force that, by the way. Now, coming into game number 4, I know that Burmese Ghouls really looked lost when they went back to this traditional meta setup that we're having. It seems like Lafel was right, and I think it's an answer probably to a Kagura and a Sylvana just to stop them from initiating properly.
Yeah, no, more importantly, just to punish like the fact that Mincetar is on board. As long as he doesn't get the Kings calling down, no matter how good that perfect match in Fatal Links is going to be, this is just a great disengage mechanic for the team. Oh, we get caught out, Kings calling, back away, we're gonna be A-okay.
Both of the teams have their own flavor, have their own style in terms of drafting. RRQ Hoshi versus Burmese Ghouls. This is the upper bracket finals. This is a best of 5, and this is game number 5 of the series.
And
Boys, what do you think? Mincetar or Atlas?
Mincetar or Atlas? 2 oddballs to choose from here, and I honestly want to see a successful Mincetar, but the success rate for Atlas to pull off great Fatal Links is even higher.
Yo,
Composition.
you got the king from the King of Kings? That's on me.
Oh, I will leave you guys with that question, and please take the floor. Go cast the game.
Thanks, Butters. And once again, let's see how this is going to play out here, because we know that the Burmese Ghouls want to just snowball out of control. And so far, they've been struggling to do that against RRQ Hoshi, who's been able to play very defensively and punish the mistakes of the Burmese Ghouls whenever necessary. And so again, let's see how these first turtles go about.
Yeah, that's a very fast 3-man clear coming from inside of RQ Hoshi, and now on towards Little Wanderer. You can also see a little bit of the tussle, but obviously RQ has been able to snatch that Little Wanderer away. And towards the purple buff we go, but over on towards the side lanes here.
I love it. It's the gentleman's cut, I'd like to call it, because look, up top is going into BR7, and then down bottom is going to be D. They just understand that the other's going to do the same. So now Kid trying to look for a nice pick-off. Here now we see in the debut of Natalia at the playoffs, we want to see if it's worth it, the investment.
I mean, that's not just all the Mincetar, especially on Lemon. It's like, you know, we see him play it once or twice, especially in MPL Indonesia, but like bringing it out on the world stage, this has occurred multiple times, and that's what Lemon brings to the table, just the unpredictableness and how deep his pockets really are.
Yeah, and of course, reaching deep in, do they have that coin and skill? Which have 2 coins? Hopefully you guys did predict correctly on this best of 5.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, Vin attempting to steal, but Ace secures it nonetheless. Still no first blood here. About to approach a 2-minute mark. That means Turtle is imminent. It is nigh. And down bottom, that is a forced retreat on to Maybe, and Psycho cutting the lane up top.
Now Ace does arrive to the scene, but looking at the situation where they don't really have the elements available, RQ retreats, and definitely don't want to underestimate what Ace could do at that moment. Oh! This is where we start our first blood with Kid unleashing what he's got.
Yeah, just baiting R7 out into this fight. Now, Vin getting a good yin-yang overturn. However, I mean, Turtle is half in D. He just wants to get this over with. Vin, he's running out of mana to actually pull this off, and pulling in back into his jungle is the safest bet. But don't forget, Kid is going to hit level 4.
Here's a trademark BG move. First Turtle, very, very important to have Ace hit the ground running. It's as safe as it gets. R7 just, you know, being a thorn on the side of D here. Nice Mountain Shocker, just checking where everyone is. Albert looking low. Kid trying to get caught out by the King's Calling, and he gets out of there. Ooh, I think he's going to run out of options. Nice dash through the wall, but Traceless gets him down nonetheless.
Oh, R7 getting a good way of the Dragon onto that Lapu here. Is he actually winning this matchup? Oh, no, it's going to be the big bait, but R7, he's got the game sense. You don't go in with that much life for no reason, but he still walks up anyway.
Flicker in time, and you can definitely see that they have already popped what they could. And R7, he's trying to control to his best abilities, but at the moment, RRQ Hoshi is going for some great invades in response. Sam Force.
BDD getting some good damage, but let's see where it goes from here, because again, it's about Burmese Ghouls pushing their lead. RRQ still ahead by 1K, even though Burmese Ghouls did take the turtle. How is Kid going to force this agenda and really get the ball rolling, bowling against RRQ Hoshi?
Ooh, so far, I don't think they need to force anything, because this is great positioning by Burmese Ghouls. They're setting up. Nice catch, purified here by Vin, but the damage is real. D takes him down, and R7 juggling the aggression back and forth. D comes in. R7 bites it.
What an opening. And well, I definitely feel like Vin doesn't have to push the issue right there, but maybe Suki whatever he can. It's gonna be an exchange here for the Sylvana. Have to see he's being bought by Lemon, but here comes Kid.
Oh, Kid, he's doing a really good job here. He's dropped out the smoke screen, and now RuBDD, this is his cleanup time. Burmese Ghouls playing off of a huge snowball. He gets Lemon with the last hit of the Chrono Dash and starts pulling backwards. This is huge for the Burmese Ghouls. They were able to get so much gold off of this.
Yeah, 2 for 1 here, and you're giving out Kid. I think Kid understood the fact that given how much firepower RRQ Hoshi's packing, a lot of the things he's gonna do is gonna affect the other part of the map. But if it immediately trades for, if it immediately results in a trade that is valuable and that is beneficial to Burmese Ghouls, by all means now, Kid faces R7 here.
Yeah, and back towards what you just mentioned there, Albert being picked up. He cannot afford to go down once again, especially in this early phases where Burmese Ghouls is just going to take every sort of objectives that we can get. This turtle is definitely going in favor of side of Burmese Ghouls for a moment. And Psycho, he can only watch as it falls, while R7 not really getting himself back in towards that form where, this fighter Cho is going to be able to put so much great effect in the early game.
Oh boy, R7, he doesn't get caught, luckily, but he actually flickers in and finds the King onto Blood, but the counterplay coming in from Maybe, the perfect match! Oh my goodness, RRQ hit back and they hit back hard! No, you can't overturn, but the Umbrella Open was going to be just enough to trade 1-for-1, Vin for Ace. So worth it for RRQ.
Just a perfect counter right there with the Fatal Links. Disconnecting the way of the dragon, pulling him. It's like the mind's telling you, yeah, I want to go for it, but the body is being taken all the way back.
Interesting move here by Burmese Ghouls. They're patient, letting the turret be taken down, and now they want revenge. Here comes the cavalry. That Psycho destroyed by RuBDD, and Albert might be next. A little bit of a silence in here, put in by Kid, and he finished the job. Albert is taken down in Vin, a little too late to the party.
R7 could still actually help Vin out in this sort of scenario here, but will they cancel the recall? Looks likely that it's going to be a no. But over the mid side, Burmese Ghouls going to be opening up the map. Fatal Links once again on towards Lemon, and Vin will be looking for a shutdown on towards Maybe. And Lemon
it's like you remember that really dumb thing you said 15 years ago. That's what happened to Vin, torn apart by Ace, the Burmese Python.
Oh my goodness, what a catch that was. And that's great, because now Burmese Ghouls, they need to start pushing their agenda. 15 more seconds until the turtle comes back up. But they're up by a tower, finally, 5-9 against RRQ Hoshi.
This is the biggest lead that they've got throughout this entirety of the game. Not only in terms of the kills, let's look at the goal. Yep, 1,000, but hey, it means a lot when you're facing against this RRQ side and you're taking every single one of these turtles. So you're going to be having that item so much sooner than what RRQ's Alberts has at the moment.
Looking at the items here, the most developed, relatively speaking, for the side of RRQ Hoshi would, still be Albert, but it's interesting to note how much Lemon is also making up, right? Like, that's very close, 4,700 to 4,700.
And we also have the kill site on the side of Ruby DD, so... Well, things are just going to get tougher for R7 right here.
Oh no, even with the smoke screen, it's not going to be enough. He does get a good Shinpo in time, but Psycho, he's under a lot of firepower and scrutiny from the rest of the Burmese Ghouls. And speaking of which, don't forget on D. D is actually almost matching Ruby DD in gold.
Yep, and he's looking good, 2-0-2. This Lapu Lapu has not died so far in this 8-minute bout so far, and he's just going to go down, try to answer Lemon on that Mincitar, which, by the way, Mincitar, Lemon, he should be finding more duels, because if not, High and Dry is not doing a lot of work.
Yeah, and looks like they want to go in for this catch flicker coming up from the side of maybe this Patches, and it will be getting himself back in towards safety. But look at R7 buying a lot of time with a little bit of a home run all across the land of Dawn. But Burmese Ghouls is going to be having their plans on their own with D in position.
He's going to get kicked for sure. He's going to get hit by the way of the dragon. Oh no, he doesn't even bother going into the brush side. Burmese Ghouls, at least they have a good idea, but they can start stealing the orange buff, this Soul of Lava, away from RRQ.
Yep, and it's an easy take. The rest of the map for the past, 2 minutes? Burmese Ghouls have been working on making this kind of space so that the next big attack that they do will be beneficial to them. They know this much that R7 is going to try to get away, so they'll try to cordon off as much of the map towards them, make it as red as possible, so that even if they do spend some time going for the chase, at least waves are crashing in.
Yeah, Blade of Despair now being a big purchase for Ace.
Woo!
Lord is right now just on your screens, and both sides ready to take note of that. The Natalia, let's talk about this Natalia, because it's definitely pulling some great effects on Burmese Ghouls' successive picks.
Yeah, a workhorse, definitely. Kid here with the execute, and again, the high and dry. I think he's able to make the most of it, because again, he can just track people. He can just shadow them and let everyone know, because yeah, Albert has Mountain Shocker like that, just checking in on it. They go on a cycle. Nice Fatal Links onto one. That's going to be the flicker used up. Torn apart memory, expended by Ace, but there's not enough stacks. Wave the Dragon going up.
OD gets exploded into pieces, and you can see the double going in favor of R7. They're still looking for more right now, but just look at Ruby DD. How much can he take? R7 still looking for the right timing. Hey, we might just actually find a little bit of the exit grounds right here, because Lemon as well as Albert did not exactly in position.
Unfortunate indeed, and I was considering why didn't R7 decide to go in a little bit earlier, especially when Psycho came in with the Imperial Justice. Then I noticed R7 already used the Way of the Dragon, so there's no point, because he even if he did get on top of Ace with the third hit of the Jeet Kune Do, that big knock-up, yeah, that's great, but you don't have the follow-up, so you just end up being a sitting duck.
Yep, that was a trade that I think Burmese Ghouls won in the long run. Again, it's because it's an unfortunate event, like series of events, as you did note. Looking at the items real quick, just barely 1,000 gold ahead is the Burmese Ghouls, and looking at their most developed character here, Hero, it's definitely going to be Ace. He's building up towards a defensive item. Looks like it might be an immortality early on. He knows how dangerous he is, and he knows how badly RRQ Hoshi wants to take him down.
Yeah, speaking of which, we do see some very aggressive plays coming from the side of Maybe. He does have Flicker, and definitely he's looking for that chain where he just Flicker as well as link them in towards the teammates, but Vin is definitely not going to be falling into the stab. But over here, it's going to be the Way of the Dragon here, getting the pick on towards Ruby DD. And Burmese Ghouls, they lose a lot of damage in this sort of skirmish. Kid has to back away. This is not the fight that they're looking for, and D is trying to set this one up.
Oh! That was a free take onto Ruby DD. No consequences at all. Maybe Vin, but I think they had that under control anyways. And here's a nice split push by R7.
Yeah, I gotta say that R7 finally getting that room to do what he does best. Going for a split push. So many of all these endless battles coming right in. And here comes the team fight. They're catching on towards Albert. This might just be the pick that they need. D does get that kill, and now over on towards Lemon, running for his life. Kid easily gets him killed off. perfect assassination coming from the Nada.
2-for-1 trade-off, and RubyDD is back up, and he should be on his way after clearing down bot side. He's running down towards mid to hopefully change up this fight, as RRQ have to wait 20 more seconds to get and even try to contest this Lord. So Burmese Ghouls will get this Lord, and the power play will come into effect.
It's free. This is a Luminous Lord. Kid gets blasted down by Vin. Interesting, might have been for shock value. Psycho did have to use the Imperial Justice there. And hold up, they do have the Retribution advantage. Let's see if there's going to be a tragic loss now. Fatal Links spells the end for Vin, and Psycho gets away, but not so much for R7.
And even Ace gets to live to tell the tale. This is looking so bad for RRQ Hoshi. They don't have the Retribution because Albert is down, and they might have actually given that away and just waits for another sort of a pick there. And Burmese Ghouls, they are now pretty much establishing not only map control, just look at the goal lead, just swinging in abundance.
Yep, they are very happy with their current position right now, but can they get more as the Burmese Ghouls with 3K ahead? They want to catch them out. Oh, Lemon! He finds the King's Calling, but again, this catch isn't looking good with the Flame Links. Albert not in position. He gets absolutely blasted by the Brody. They can't stop it. Fatal Links again. Say hello to my perfect match here, as now Burmese Ghouls, have they done it? This is the big pick. They've killed 4, and they are pushing through to end this best of 5. Will come home as the Burmese Ghouls, GG, well played, take out RRQ and send them to the lower brackets.
They have done the unthinkable, and now they make history. The first Myanmar team to make it and towards the grand finals of the M2 World Championship 2020. They've waited for so long.
Lord knows how long ago in this series we said that the Burmese Ghouls are aiming to become catalysts of change. And boy, oh boy, have the tables turned. This is a new age. Burmese Mobile Legends is the standard, ladies and gentlemen. They are waiting in the grand finals, and it's up to 2 Indonesian teams and 1 Filipino team to rise up and challenge their claim.
In all honesty, we've been saying that the Burmese Ghouls has been slowly and surely getting a lot of experience. They've been there for MSC. They've been there for M1. They were there at MPLI. Now, with all the experience that they got facing these kinds of, or these international teams, right now, it's their time. And they are in the grand finals for M2 World Championship.
I mean, this is huge. This is making history, especially for Myanmar esports, and more so their Mobile Legends community here, as they have broken into the grand finals. Who would have expected them to make it this far, and in such a fashion as well?
Yeah, and if you just take a glimpse onwards that, folks, these players have been there since the get-go throughout all these tournaments that you have mentioned, and finally writing a new chapter and like just close that one off with a big title under their belt.
And this is where it gets interesting, because the Philippines and 2 Indonesian teams are now in the lower bracket, and as you can see, we went the distance with this. Burmese Ghouls just gonna stand by and watch